Samsaradava naladita loka Trinaya karuna guna guna tvam Paptasya kalyana gunaravasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Padichamadhyam Manasura Sena Romanchakampa Sutaranga Bhajo Ande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Shri Vigraharadhana Nityanana Shingaratan Mandira Majinado Yuktasya Bhaktam Shaniyunjatopi Bande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Chaturveda Shri Bhagavat Prasada Sadvana Chiptan Hari Bhakta Sangham Kirtaiva Chiptim Vajatasa Deva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Samsaradava Nalalida Loka Chunaya Karuna Guna Gunatvam Paptasya Kalyana Gunaravasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Shiradika Madhavayora Para Madhurya Lila Gunarupanam Pratikshana Tanalolupasya Bande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Nekunja Yuno Ratikeli Siddhai Chayalibi Tirabhiksanina. Tatrati Takshadati Balabhasya Ande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Shakshadari Tena Samasta Sastri Yuktastataba Yavyadeva Sadmi. Shakshadari Tena Samasta Sastri Yuktastatava Vyavyadeva Sadmi. Kintu Prabhuya Vihaiva Tasya Bande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Yasha Prasada Bhagavat Prasada Yasha Prasadana Nakatikatopi. Tayam Stutvam Stasya Sasti Sandam Bande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Bande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Bande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskatya Desatarine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vindam Jaya Shri Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vindam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pararajagachasta Tarasatara Shishi Shimada's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pararajagachasta Tarasatara Shishi Shimada's Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Shikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Samakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapura Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Ki Jai. Jamuna Maya Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktavinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Patita Pavana ki jai.
Hiranyakashipo Vakshaha Shilatanka Nakalaye Ito Nesinha Parato Nesinha Yato yato yamita to nesinha Pahir nesinho hridaye nesinho Nirsinha madim sharanam prapade Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shingam Dadita Hiranyakashipu Tanurvingam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jagadisha Hare Jagadisha Hare Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nrsimhade Jaya Nrsimhade Jaya Nrsimhade Jaya Nrsimhade Jaya Bhakta Pala Jaya Bhakta Pala Bhakta Pala Jaya Bhakta Pala Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nishingadev Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Gaurav Nandi Hari Bol.
Vrindaye Tulsi Devaya Priyaye Savasya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavrataya Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Devaya Priyaye Savasya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavrataya Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Devaya Priyaye Savasya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavrataya Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai.
Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namah. Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namah. Radha Krishna Seva Pavo Abhilashi. 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 Ye tumhara sharan loy tara vancha purna hoy. Yavara sharan loy tara vancha purna hoy. Kripa kori koro tare Vrindavanavasi. Kripa kori koro tare Vrindavanavasi. Morai abhilas vilas kunje diyavas. Raya Vilas Vilas Kunje Diyava Nayane Heribo Sada Yugala Ruparasi Nayane Heribo Sada Yugala Ruparasi. Ei nivedana daro sakiranugata koro. Nivedana daro sakiranugata koro. Sevadi kar diye koro nijadasi. Kar diye koro nijadasi. Dina Krishna dase koi namora hoy. Krishna dase koi namo ramo Shri Radha Govinda preme sadayena bhasi Radha Govinda preme sadayena bhasi Shri Radha Govinda preme sadayena bhasi Shri Radha Govinda preme sadayena bhasi Ani kani cha papani brahmahatyadikani cha tani tani pranashanti pradakshina pade pade ani kani Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Vrinde Devi, Jaya Vrinde Devi, Jaya Vrinde Devi, Jaya Vrinde Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi. Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi.
Devi Maharani ki jai. Vindaye Tulsi Deva Priyaye Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Pradi Devi Satyavrataya Namo Namaha. Vindaye Tulsi Deva Priyaye Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Pradi Devi Satyavrataya Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Deva Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyaratai Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. O Tulasi, beloved of Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has his wishes fulfilled. Bestowing your mercy upon him, you make him resident of Vrindavana. My desire is you also grant me a residence in the pleasure groves of Shri Vrindavana Dham. Thus, within my vision, I'll always behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of the cowherd damsels of Vraja. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maidservant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna praise. I always swim in the love of Shri Shri Radha and Govinda Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. Chaito Darpana Marjanam Baba Mahadavagni Nirapanam Sherakai Vichandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vaduhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Punam Mitasvadanam Sarvatna Sapanam Param Vijayate Shikishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Mahudanicha Sarvasaktis Sadrapitani Amitaks Maranina Kala Etad Rasita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Jasi Samihajanina Nuraga Trinada Pisuni Chena Tarurabi Saisnana Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitamba Jagadishakamaye Mama Jamani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Rahaituki Twai Ainandatanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Chintaya Nam Gavadasurudaya Vadanam Gadgadurudaya Jira Pulakai Nishitam Vapu Kada Tavanam Abgrahane Bhavishyate Yugayitam Nimesena Chakshusapa Vrasayitam Sunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Aslishyava Padaratam Pinastumam Adasanam Mamahato Karutava Yata Tata Vavidata Lampato Mat Pranatastu Saeva Naparaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutali Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which you are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sorts of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, When will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your holy name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I consider a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are falling from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy name to the Lord which should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. Wrath, two, three, four, five, glory, six, some interpretation of the holy name. 7. Strength. 8. There's also a fact that attended while chanting. Everybody claims to be in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas and praise the Lord. They are just like desired trees that can fulfill the desires of the mind, and they are full of compassion for fallen conditioned souls. Vanchakapa Tarabhischa, Kripasidi Devacha, Patitaram Pavaniti, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Vaishnava Thakur Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Grantha Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadasya yata nivayat itaratas charte suavigya swarat. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adhikavaye Muyanti Yatsuraya. Tejo Varimidam Yata Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mesha. Damna Srena Sadanya Rasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dimahi. O my Lord, Shri Krishna, son of Vasudeva. O all-pervading personality Godhead, for my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Shri Krishna because he is the absolute truth, and the primeval cause of all causes, of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. And he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge into the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen on fire or land seen in water. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Shri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Dharma Pujita Kaitravotra Paramo Nimatsiranam Satam Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu. Shivadam Tapa Trayodmulanam. Shrimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite. Kim Vaparir Ishwaraha. Sadyohridi Avarudyate Tra. Krite Bihi Sususabhistakshanat. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. This Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Nigama kalpatarur galitam phalam Sukumukad amrita dravya samyutam Pibata bhagavatam rasam alayam Muhur aho rasika bhuvibhavuka. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful. Although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Shinvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantaksto Bhadrani Vidunati Suhitsatam. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures, or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita, is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best-wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in devotional service to the Lord. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Haribol. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 12, Verse number 5. Sampada Kratavo Loka Maheshi Parataro Mahi Jambu Dvipa Dipatyam Cha Yashascha Tri Divam Gatam. News even reached the celestial planets about Maharaj Yudhishthira's worldly possessions, the sacrifices by which he would attain a better destination, his queen, his stalwart brothers, his extensive land, his sovereignty over the planet Earth, and his fame, etc. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Only a rich and great man's name and fame are known all over the world, and The name of fame of Maharaj Yudhisthira reached the higher planets because of his good administration, worldly possessions, glorious wife Draupadi, the strength of his brothers Bhima and Arjuna, and his solid sovereign power over the world, known as Jambudvipa. Here the word loka, is significant. There are different lokas, or higher planets, scattered all over the sky, both material and spiritual. A person can reach them by dint of his work in the present life. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.25, no forceful entrance is allowed there. The tiny material scientists and engineers who have discovered vehicles to travel over a few thousand miles in outer space will not be allowed entrance. That is not the way to reach the better planets. One must qualify himself to enter into such happy planets by sacrifice and service. Those who are sinful in every step of life can expect only to be degraded into animal life, to suffer more and more the pangs of material existence. And this is also stated in Bhagavad Gita 16:19. Maharaj Yudhisthira's good sacrifices and qualifications were so lofty and virtuous that even the residents of the higher celestial planets were already prepared to receive him as one of them. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah, so a lot of interesting points here. Number one is the verse 925, which says, let's see what it says. Yanti deva vritan devam pitrin vanti pritivrita bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti mad yajino pimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me, Krishna says. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So what did Prabhupada say? He said that a person can reach them, meaning the different lokas, the higher planets, both material and spiritual, because there are a few spiritual planets and the higher material planets, like Dhruva and also Sweta Dwipa, and there might be some more. Anyway, those two I know for sure. So it says here that a person can reach them, these material and spiritual planets, higher planets, by dint of his work in the present life, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.25. So Prabhupada explains, if one has any desire to go to the moon, the sun, or any other planet, one can attain the desired destination by following specific Vedic principles recommended for that purpose, such as the process technically known as Darsha Purnamasi. These are vividly described in the Fruit of Activities portion of the Vedas, which recommends a specific worship of demigods situated on different heavenly planets. Similarly, one can attain the Pita planets by performing a specific yajna. Similarly, one can go to many ghostly planets and becomes a yaksha, raksha, or pisacha. Pisacha worship is called black arts or black magic. There are many men who practice this black art, and they think that it is spiritualism. But such activities are completely materialistic. Similarly, a pure devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead only achieves the planets of Vaikuntha and Krishna Loka without a doubt. It is very easy to understand through this important verse that if by simply worshipping the demigods one can achieve the heavenly planets, or by worshipping the Pitas achieve the Pita planets, or by practicing the black arts achieve the ghostly planets, why can the pure devotee not achieve the planet of Krishna or Vishnu? Unfortunately, many people have no information of these sublime planets where Krishna and Vishnu live, and because they do not know of them, they fall down. Even the impersonalists fall down from the Brahmajyoti. The Krishna consciousness movement is therefore distributing sublime information to the entire human society to the effect that by simply chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one can become perfect in this life and go back home, back to Godhead. There you go. You want to be perfect, you chant Hare Krishna. You want to be imperfect, you chant, I don't know, something else. Bebopalooba. You go to the demon planets. That's why you can see there's so many ridiculous songs that are written in this world. And people are chanting them and memorizing them. And what happens? They remember that at the moment of death. And then they go to some ghostly planet. You can see how dangerous the mantras, the culture is today. You know, kids memorize these stupid things. They end up in a horrible situation at the end of life. Okay, so that's very interesting point. And then Prabhupada says, no forceful entrance is allowed there. You can't just go to a planet like the moon or heavenly planets or even the ghostly planets without a preparation. Of course, the preparation to go to the ghostly planets, that's being practiced every day. You start by meat eating, and then it goes to, body deformation and tattoos and then all kinds of crazy things that people do to their body to look strange, and then engage in illicit activities and taking drugs, and all that is preparation for going to the ghostly planets. If they just understood what they're trying to do, well, actually, they become accustomed to that ghostly culture. So then, when they end up in these horrible planets, it might not be so bad for them. They're already used to eating stool and living in stool, so they train themselves now to like those things. So that's a horrible culture. So all these attempts at space research is futile and childish and basically stupid. Prabhupada says, one must qualify himself to enter into such happy planets by sacrifice and service. So, sacrifice and service, two key words, two S words, sacrifice and service. So, what does it mean by sacrifice? Well, that's explained in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And if we want to actually elevate ourselves, here is a description. And it says, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavya Brahmakarma Svabhavajam Samadhina Brahmakarma Samadhina. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities. Okay. But then it says, some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them, and some offer sacrifices in the fire of the Supreme Brahman. And then it says, some, the unadulterated brahmacharis, sacrifice the hearing process and the senses in the fire of mental control, and others, the regulated householders, sacrifice the objects of the senses in the fire of the senses. So you sacrifice your hearing to only hearing spiritual subjects, and you sacrifice your worshiping by only worshiping Krishna, or if you have less knowledge, the demigods. And then you can be a regulated householder and sacrifice the objects of the senses in the fire of the senses. So you sacrifice your accumulated so-called assets in different ways. And then others who are interested in achieving self-realization through control of the mind and senses offer the functions of all the senses and of the life breath as oblations into the fire of the controlled mind. So that's mystical yoga, or Ashtanga yoga, or the explanation is given by Patanjali in his Yoga Sutras. Pratyag Atma and Parag Atma. As long as the soul is attached to sense enjoyment, it is called Parag Atma. But as soon as the same soul becomes detached from such sense enjoyment, it is called Pratyag Atma. The soul is subjected to the functions of 10 kinds of air at work within the body, and this is perceived through the breathing system. The Patanjali system of yoga instructs one on how to control the functions of the body's air in a technical manner, so that ultimately all functions of the air within become favorable for purifying the soul of material attachment. According to this yoga system, Pratyag Atma is the ultimate goal. This Pratyag Atma is withdrawn from activities in matter. The senses interact with the sense objects, like the ear for hearing, eyes for seeing, nose for smelling, tongue for tasting, hand for touching, and all of them are thus engaged in activities outside the self. They are called the functions of the prana vayu. The apana vayu goes downwards. Vyana vayu acts to shrink and expand. Samana vayu adjusts the equilibrium. Udana vayu goes upward. And when one is enlightened, one engages all these in searching for the supreme, for self-realization. So you can see it's a very arduous, complicated process. Definitely not recommended in this age. And it doesn't even compare with the process of Krishna, which is chanting, dancing, and feasting, and hearing, and serving. And then it says, having accepted strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possessions, and others by performing severe austerities, by practicing the yoga of eightfold mysticism, or by studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge. So you have the karma yogis, the jnana yogis, the Ashtanga yogis, and the bhaktas. Right. And then still others who are inclined to the process of breath restraint to remain in trance, practiced by offering the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming, and the incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in trance, stopping all breathing. Others curtailing the eating process, offer the outgoing breath into itself as a sacrifice. So you see, it gets more and more complicated. But then Prabhupada concludes by saying, Mamchayo vibhicharina bhakti yogena sevate sagunam samatityaita brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in unalloyed devotional service to the Lord transcends the modes of material nature and is immediately elevated to the spiritual platform. So that's the path chosen by the pure Vaishnavas. So that's another alternate translation where it says, that's 429. Okay, so it says, one who engages in unalloyed devotional service to the Lord transcends the modes of material nature and is immediately elevated to the spiritual platform, whereas in 1426 it says, one who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So you see that's an alternate translation. All right. So then a Krishna conscious person begins from the transcendental stage and he is constantly in that consciousness. Therefore there is no falling down and ultimately he enters into the abode of the Lord without delay. The practice of reduced eating is automatically done when one eats only Krishna prasadam, or food which is offered first to the Lord. Reducing the eating process is very helpful in the matter of sense control, and without sense control, there's no possibility of getting out of the material entanglement. There you go. And then, in conclusion, it says, all these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions, and having tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifices, they advance toward the supreme eternal atmosphere. And Prabhupada concludes by saying, from the foregoing explanation of different types of sacrifice, namely sacrifice of one's possessions, sacrifice of the study of, secondly, study of the Vedas or philosophical doctrines, and performance of the yoga system, it is found that the common aim of all is to control the senses. Sense gratification is the root cause of material existence. And what do they teach mostly in school? Sense gratification. That's why mundane education is very dangerous, because it trains you to stay in the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, unless and until one is situated on a platform apart from sense gratification, there is no chance of being elevated to the eternal platform of full knowledge, full bliss, and full life. This platform is the eternal atmosphere, or Brahman atmosphere. All the above-mentioned sacrifices help one to become cleansed of the sinful reactions of material existence. By this advancement in life, not only does one become happy and opulent in this life, but also at the end he enters into the eternal kingdom of God, either merging into the impersonal Brahman or associating with the Supreme Lord of Godhead, Krishna, or Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And then finally he says, O best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice one can never live happily on this planet or in this life, and what then of the next? So we see sacrifice and service, two very important principles for advancing in spiritual life, and how to qualify oneself to enter into happy planets. So those who are sinful in every step of life can expect only to be degraded into animal life, to suffer more and more the pangs of material existence, and this is also stated in Bhagavad Gita 16:19. Well, 16:19 says, let's see what it says, 16:19, Tamaham drisyatam kuran samare sunaradamam shipam yajasram asuban asurisveva yonisu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. So, and now it says, in this verse it is clearly indicated that the placing of a particular individual soul in a particular body is the prerogative of the supreme will. The demoniac person may not agree to accept the supremacy of the Lord, and it is a fact that he may act according to his own whims. So once on the flight, I was sitting next to this lady, and we got into a little bit of a discussion, and she had said that she had read the Tibetan Book of the Dead. That was the extent of her so-called spiritual knowledge. And I told her, well, there's some misunderstanding in that book. She said, what do you mean misunderstanding? She was implying, who are you to say there's a misunderstanding in that book? I said, in that book it says that you can determine your next life by certain activities that you do. She said, yeah, that's right. I said, that's not exactly right. I said, what? What do you mean it's not right? I said that your next body will be determined by superior authority. She said, superior authority? Who's that? I said, well, ultimately it's Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead. I said, that's a bunch of nonsense. I said, well, I'm sorry, ma'am, but that's not what the Vedic scriptures say. She said, well, who cares what the Vedic scriptures say? I'm talking about the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I said, look, in one sense, whatever you do in this life will determine what you're going to be in the next life. But the actual choice of the body is made by higher authorities, not by you. And she just, refused to accept that. This is why, there's so many books out there that people read, and then there's interpretations and misinterpretations, and then people get stuck on something. But right here it says, in this verse, it is clearly indicated that the placing of a particular individual soul in a particular body is the prerogative of the supreme will. There it is. The demoniac person may not agree to accept the supremacy of the Lord, and it is a fact that he may act according to his own whims. But his next birth will depend upon the decision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and not on himself. That's it right there. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, it is stated that any individual soul, after his death, is put into the womb of a mother where he gets a particular type of body. This is a 3rd canto Srimad Bhagavatam, under the supervision of superior power. Therefore, in the material existence we find so many species of life, animals, insects, men, and so on. All are arranged by the superior power. They are not accidental. As for the demoniac, it is clearly said here that they are perpetually put in the wombs of demons, and thus they continue to be envious, the lowest of mankind. Such demoniac species of men are held to be always full of lust, always violent and hateful, and always unclean. The many kinds of hunters in the jungle are considered to belong to the demoniac species of life. There's so many hunters in the United States. So, we need to understand things from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and not by these bogus scriptures like the Tibetan Book of the Dead and this thing and that thing, because otherwise people get this idea, well, I can control my next life, No, it's not a fact. You can, if you act whimsically, you're going to get a lower birth. And if you act responsibly, you might get a higher birth. But the choice of that body and where you're going to be placed is made by higher authorities, not by you. Haribol. So then, and those who are sinful in every step of life can expect only to be degraded into animal life, to suffer more and more the pangs of material existence, and this is also stated in Bhagavad Gita 16:19. Maharaj Yudhishthira's good sacrifices and qualifications were so lofty and virtuous that even the residents of the higher celestial planets were already prepared to receive him as one of them. So you see, everything depends on sacrifice and service, not on sense gratification and demoniac activities. Haribol. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Any questions? Yeah. Well, no, we have to tell them, look, you're making a mistake. And so I told that lady, I said, you've been misled. What you're saying is not true. Yeah, you act in a certain way, and, you're going to go up or down, but the choice of that next body, you don't make that choice. It's made by higher authorities. So whatever you've read in the Tibetan Book of the Dead is wrong. Because it doesn't... Anything that does not come close or exactly the same as what's in the Vedas is wrong. We have to be convinced of that ourselves. Otherwise, how can you convince another person? So if the Tibetan Book of Dead says something a little bit different than what Bhagavatam says, then we should say that's not right. And they say, well, how do you know? I said, because we base our knowledge on the Vedas, and the Vedas are superior. It's superior knowledge. It's coming directly from the spiritual world. She might say, well, that's your belief. I said, no, it's not a question of belief. You should be much more rational. You're being emotional right now. If you're rational, say, well, let me try it then. Let me experiment and see if it's a fact. See, I said you should be scientific. If someone's making a claim, so you should put it to the test. And if it works, then you know it's true. And if it doesn't work, then you know it might not be true. But you have to follow. The test has to be a rigorous test. It can't be a sloppy test. You have to actually engage in bona fide sacrifice and service, as explained in Bhagavad Gita. Right? So I just showed you where it's explained. It's the 4th chapter, up to the 30th verse. It explains different types of sacrifices that lead to elevation to the higher material planets or to the spiritual planets. So we have to be convinced, and then we have to know where the information is. And what does it mean, sacrifice and service? There's just 2 words, right? But sacrifice is a whole description of it here. And service also, there's a whole description of it. So unless you know these things, you can't really preach. You just get stuck. And most devotees don't pay attention to classes. They don't really, take notes. They don't really follow it day after day. They just, hit or miss, some speaker comes, is going to speak for 3 days. They come for 4 days. They listen. And, in one ear, out the other ear. And they say, oh, that was great, seminar. But what did they catch from it? Right? Not that much. You have to keep hearing on a daily basis and discussing and thinking. Then you'll catch something. Seminars are good, but they're not. It's more entertainment than actual learning. There's some learning, but it's not substantial enough to keep a person out of Maya on a regular basis. Any other questions? Haribol. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai.